Hey there, it's Carrie Konyha chiming in with this week's energy update and activation. Come on in, have a seat with me, and let's explore the energies that are showing up this week. Let's go ahead and dive in. Welcome back, guys. So as I'm recording this, we are in the day of the last quarter moon. So we're in the waning phase of the current lunar cycle. And the waning phase of the lunar cycle, the last quarter moon, always brings us into a space of expressing or dissipating energies. Now, the exact last quarter moon happened in the sign of Aries early this morning, and then the moon went void of course for a few hours, and now the moon is going into Taurus. So the last quarter moon in Aries does inspire ambitiousness, but we have to look out for the possibility of having knee-jerk, reactionary, or haste-oriented actions or choices. This is definitely a time where we want to think before we leap, and we want to keep our focus set more in alignment with the intentions that we actually set for ourselves 3 weeks ago on the new moon, rather than hastily reacting on things that might be showing up that feel more triggery in the now. And I say that because that definitely is a part of the energy that we're experiencing this week. It can feel a little bit triggery. I've been mentioning that for the past few weeks as we've been getting closer to this Uranus North Node conjunction, and that conjunction is becoming more exact over the next few days. If you've been tuning into these weekly energy updates, you know that I've already talked about that Uranus is the planet that is connected to sudden awakenings, it's new developments, it's connected to higher awareness, cosmic mind, it's liberating energy, and it's actually an energy that can enable us to make some breakthroughs. Now, because this conjunction is happening in the sign of Taurus, it can impact us in ways that have to do with things connected to our belongings, our possessions, our sense of what we value in life, our environment. But because Taurus is ruled by Venus, this can also be really connected to matters of the heart, relationships, reassessing, reevaluating what's aligned with us or not. And for a lot of us, that's going to be a big component of this conjunction that's happening. Now, Mars joins into the mix of that conjunction in about another 10 or 11 days. So I'm going to talk more about that in next week's episode. But I want to remind us all about this conjunction because, for one, it's a more rare alignment that happens, and we're all experiencing this type of conjunction for the first time in our lifetime. And we're not sure what to expect, which is actually a part of that Uranian energy. It's expecting the unexpected type of thing. But the reason this is so significant right now is because it's connected with the North Node of the moon, which represents our higher calling, our highest destiny. So Uranus bringing in opportunity for transformation and breakthrough is with the intention of liberating us into a higher timeline, a higher destiny, really more finely attuning to what feels like our higher calling. And so if you are a person that has been feeling like things are a little topsy-turvy for you right now, more than likely it has to do with this alignment that's happening. And I'm mentioning it because I want to remind us all to be kind and loving and gentle with ourselves. This type of energy can jostle or shake what feels like the foundations of stability in our life. And so what does that mean? That means that the remedy is in remaining grounded. In fact, at the end of this video, I'm going to share a quick little centering practice with all of you so that we can have that to work with over the next few weeks while this conjunction is impacting our energy fields. I also want to mention here that yesterday, Chiron in Aries went retrograde, and it's going to be retrograde up through into December of this year. And when Chiron is retrograde, it gives us an opportunity to do deep healing work. So this coinciding with the Uranus North Node conjunction can feel like a little bit of a heavy time or a deep time on those psycho-spiritual levels. And we definitely are all feeling that. But at the same time, we have a little bit of a break or breather from that energy coming in, with the sun preparing to move into the sign of Leo on the 22nd. And then yesterday, Mercury just went into the sign of Leo as well. Leo is a little bit more of an exuberant energy. So with the sun and Mercury in Leo, we're all going to be feeling more in our exuberance. We're going to be experiencing a little bit of an ambition to be more playful. This could manifest as a feeling of like, let me just get out there in the world and shake all this heavier energy off, which actually would be quite good for us to do. We've got that depth of energy that's supporting breakthroughs and transformation, but we also have that Leo energy that we can cash in on or attune to keep ourselves balanced through this energy cycle that we're in right now. We're for sure all going to be feeling a little bit testy and triggery, and being aware of that enables us to rise above it and work through the energy consciously. Perseverance, practicality, determination are good key words to harness right now in regard to keeping your attention focused on the bigger picture themes and the goals around them in your life. In fact, let me share this with you. When I was tuning into the energy this morning, just on intuitive psychic levels, and tuning into, okay, what's the best energy for us to align with within ourselves that's going to support us in moving through these anomalous energies that we find ourselves wading through right now. In my mind's eye, I had a vision of the Wheel of Fortune tarot card. And the Wheel of Fortune is an energy of change, but I went ahead and pulled the card out so I can show something to you all. So the Wheel of Fortune speaks of cycles of birth, life, death, and regeneration. The figures around the card speak of that. And it also speaks of, okay, change that's happening around me. And we are in a time where we have change happening around us. And it's cosmically inspired change. It's change in alignment with divine orchestration that more than likely we were not anticipating and we don't necessarily have complete control over. So what do we do when we find ourselves in that type of position? We don't want to get knocked off center and spinning around this wheel, so to speak, in ways that leave us feeling disoriented and dizzy. What we can do is remain centered. Think of this very center space of the wheel. In the very center, if we can imagine placing our attention in a symbolic center of the wheel of change that's happening right now, then this is how we can remain centered. In Sanskrit and yoga, it can be called a bindu, which is a focal point in space, or a drishti, which is a focalizing point. Remain in your center. And this can be really likened to the eye of a storm within a hurricane. Right? So there can be like this massive hurricane going on around us, and energetically we do kind of have that going on right now. But in the eye of the storm, it's calm, it's sunshiny, it's peaceful, there's no storm at all. So I invite you to imagine this and use this imagery and concept to help you to stay grounded this week. Stay centered in your truth, stay grounded in your bigger picture goals, dreams, ambitions. Be aware of the tendency to get yanked out of your center by the energies that are going on, but use your will and your attention to remain centered. So I'm going to shuffle this back into the deck now, and I'm going to select 3 cards with the intention of gaining some additional insights around an energy that we can harness to support our growth in navigating forward through this time, and then how we can best harness that energy and what the result of embracing that energy and harnessing it will be. And I'm using my Universal Rider-Waite deck today. Okay, let's see what wants to come up here. Okay, here's 1, here's 2, and 3. Awesome. So as I'm looking at the cards here, we have the 5 of Wands, which I'll talk about in a moment. We have the Temperance card and the 8 of Wands also. So I feel like there's a lot of amazing messages coming through these cards here. When I tune into, okay, what's the energy showing up? What energy can we harness right now to really move through these times and these cycles most consciously? I feel like it's showing up as the Temperance card, because right now is a lot about holding space. It's a lot about remaining centered in the center of that wheel. And the Temperance card is the energy of holding space. This is not a time where we want to be flailing around like we're just trying not to drown in the energy. We want to be calm. We want to be in ease and allow the current of life, the current of the cosmic energy, to simply carry us where we're meant to go. Now, it's interesting though, because the energy that I feel that is a way that we can do this, I feel is connected to this 5 of Wands, because although on like more of a mundane level of tarot reading, this card can represent competitiveness, comparing, things like that. On a higher level, it's actually about facing life's experiences through utilizing your skills in ways that ultimately enable you to come into more mastery of awareness. So this is a time of being present. We are engaging in life in ways where we're really standing strong in what our values are, what our intentions are, and even what our boundaries are. And we're willing to be present with, whatever life is showing us. And we're remaining centered, but it's not necessarily passive. It's actively, consciously remaining centered within choices you're making and actions that you're taking in ways that are very deliberate, in ways that are being willing to face off the challenges. This is not the time to retreat and cower and hide. It's being present, facing off those challenges, using your soulful savvy, so to speak. And then the result of that is going to be this 8 of Wands, which is expansion, growth, liberation, movement. It literally is the energy of new momentum happening in your life. And so the end result of this energy, we can trust, is bringing us into new pathways of growth. We just need to conscientiously hold space. And the way that we conscientiously hold space is about working with the energies in ways that are connected to what you know your soul is guiding you towards. And again, the temperance and being in your stillness, as I described with the Wheel of Fortune earlier, is what enables you to know what that soul-centered guidance is. Now, this morning, I was talking to my girlfriend, Kimberly. Her and I share a healing center in Sedona. She's an amazing energy healer. She also does astrology as well. If you want to check her out, her website is sedonahealingenergy.com. Anyway, we were talking on the phone this morning about things that we can do to honor and nurture ourselves during times where things seem to be going sort of topsy-turvy. And believe me, I'm right in this with you guys. I've got my own version of things going on. I still have our whole healing center thing with the flood and all of that is still happening. But anyway, we were sharing ideas back and forth. And she shared with me a simple practice that she does. And so I did it this morning and I felt so much better. And now I'm going to pass it on to you. So it's really about just pulling your energy back to yourself. When we're in times of uncertainty, we have a tendency to sort of be all over the place mentally and emotionally. We lose our center, we lose our balance. An easy thing we can do is this. Place your hands on your heart center. You can close your eyes with me. And just feeling the presence of your own soul within your body, and inviting the presence of your soul to be empowered within you. You can think of inhaling, really calling any energy back to you, any energy that has been taken from you through life situations recently, any energy that you've been giving away. Inhale it all back to you. Feel your presence of your soul in your body. Feel your connection to the earth under the soles of your feet. And use your intention to hold high vibrational frequencies, which is also very connected to this temperance card as well. So if you went ahead and did that little practice with me, go ahead and open your eyes now. And just notice how you feel, and maybe do it again throughout the day or over the next few weeks as we're riding the wave of this energy together. And I also want to mention that for those of you who maybe haven't seen it yet, a few days ago, I uploaded a video on my channel called How to Recognize Signs from the Universe. And the reason that I did that is because we are in a time where things can feel up in the air for many of us. And one of the ways that we can access guidance is asking the universe for signs and following them. So I'm going to link that video around here for you guys to check out, or I'll put it in the description below or in the comments. And I encourage all of you to check that out, work with the principles that I'm sharing with you in that video. And that's also going to be a really good tool for you this week as well. So, okay guys, all my love, blessings, namaste. I'm going to see you around the corner in the next video.